We're alive with the episode 3 of the Pedro and Hannibal podcast. My name is Hannibal, and this man over here to my right, or hopefully it's left. I don't know how this works on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Mr. Bet on You, Pedro. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. I know we're both tired. We have long days, but these is the highlight of my week, especially when you guys are checking this out on the premiere right now.
Absolutely.
We should be both in there. Hopefully one of us not sleeping and somebody has to carry the weight. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And if you've been watching on the replay, we have a lot to get to in this episode. A lot to get to.
Yes, we do.
But we got some album reviews, right? Especially at the very end, talking about the new Drake album that I did not know was even going to drop until I sent you a message.
I didn't know till it was out, I think, yeah. So.
And I think there's a lot of discussion. I'm sure you guys checked it out online if you are. And I know not everyone is a Drake fan. I understand that. But we're going to be talking about, we're going to reply to a lot of just music in general, right? We're going to talk about the Jack Harlow. Why women like him? We'll kind of break that down as well. But first, we're going to talk about some NBA.
Oh, Lord.
The ending of the NBA season. Before you guys, last week, the NBA season not finished yet. It was still the finals. Still had a competitive series with the Boston Celtics and Golden State Warriors. But they, you know what? I'm not going to continue. Pedro, what's your thoughts?
So, the first 3 games, I was predicting them right. Everything kind of fell in line. Yeah, give me the music. And listen, the Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry, went another level. Draymond started playing better. I started crying. It was hard basketball to watch. Every time Mike Breen would say bang, it was like, another 3-point dagger from the light-skinned bros.
Yeah, man.
And it was tough to watch because I felt like the Celtics just played horrible basketball for stretches, and they were turning the ball over. Jason Tatum in the second half of that last game scored 2 points. Let me repeat that. He scored 2 points in the second half. And
how much points he scored?
2.
2 points. Jeez.
In a whole half of basketball, when your season's on the line, your career, your legacy. He's a St. Louis kid. I still love him to death, but I'm extremely disappointed in the Boston Celtics, more so in him, because he didn't show up. Andrew Wiggins bodied that young man, and and if anything, hopefully he comes back stronger next year. I hope he does. I think he will. But that was some pathetic basketball to watch, man.
Only few thoughts I have is a lot of hate on Jason Tatum. He's 24 years old, and even some of the weird takes. Well, he's been in the league for 5 years. I'm not even going to throw the ages. What age did Michael Jordan win his first championship? What age LeBron? Name all of them. No one won champion except it was Magic, and Magic is old. Yeah. Everyone, you go there, you get your head kicked in the first finals. Shaq did not win his first finals. Chill out.
Yeah, the only ones Magic and Tim Duncan won early. That's it.
Yeah, Tim Duncan.
And those are all-time greats. So
with the good situation, I kind of just jumped in. So he'll be fine. But before we go to the next topic, who do you think is going to win the championship next year? What's your early pick?
Oh, man, that's tough. I mean, the easy pick right now is Golden State because they're going to have everybody back. Curry's looking amazing still. Clay will probably be even better.
That's the scary part.
That's the scary. And they might sign somebody else. They got young guys, Kuminga and Wiseman, that haven't even contributed, and they're young, but very talented. Yeah, Poole will get better. So that's the easy pick. I would say, the Bucks are still going to be there. I think teams like Denver, because Denver's going to get back some players. Miami Heat's probably going to sign Donovan Mitchell from the Jazz. If they do that, that's a big get. Yeah, that would really load them up offensively because they're already decent and they're good defensively, but that'll make them better offensively. You never know with the Lakers, man. You never know with the Brooklyn Nets. They have all-stars on that team. They got Hall of Famers. So
Brooklyn Nets is still favored to win the East next year.
When you have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and Ben
Kyrie
Simmons.
doesn't want to. This is so stressful dealing with this
it doesn't have to be because they're so talented, but they make it. Yeah.
Kyrie does not want. He wants a max deal right now, and he's mad, and no one would give him a max deal. And he's the last one to know. He's the last one to figure why would anyone want to pay when you don't want to play, and something happens you don't want to play? And then you leave. Durant is out the door, but they can also win a championship next year. This is the extent that I got to deal with.
I mean, would you be surprised if Ben Simmons came back, contributed like he did to, like he had been doing with the Sixers, and if Kyrie winds up playing contract, no contract, balls out because he wants a new one, right? Yeah. And then Durant does his thing. Yeah, they could easily win the whole thing. Nobody would be shocked by that.
It's just such a strong three, but then such a weak foundation of very sensitive men. The three most sensitive superstars are on one team. There isn't a Draymond that. Yeah, Draymond, you consider him overrated, but he is perfect in that team. He takes all the crap. So, Curry and Thompson can just play.
Yeah.
Well, Draymond, everyone hates Draymond.
He takes a lot of pressure off those guys. Yeah, you're exactly.
Right. Perfect way of explaining it.
Yeah.
We don't have that in the Brooklyn Nets. Who's taking what from whom? Durant can't stop tweeting. Kyrie is upset all the time, and Ben can't shoot. So
and the coach isn't a guy that I think is gonna,
they keep trying to find the next Steve Kerr. They keep trying to find this next Steve. It's not. I mean, yes, Steve Kerr's actually he put some really good coaching decisions in the past. But he has the horses, man. He got the people. He got the staff. Yep. So Steve Nash is going to figure this out when, Kevin Durant and Kyrie you win championship. Get out of my face. You're going to tell me you didn't win championship.
I think the level of respect for him is not like other coaches maybe. So I think it's but if they win, they could win because they have that talent.
They got talent. So
they could totally win.
I'm going to bet some money on the Brooklyn Nets because I'm an idiot. I'm going to do it super early because
you're a homer. Don't be a homer.
I did win my bet for the Golden State Warriors to win the.
Oh, you did. So, let me applaud a little bit.
Good, no problem. If you want some new NBA picks, let me know. I can hook you up. I got some insight. Some of the, I can't even explain it. You know what I mean? But I just have some good NBA insight. I play a lot of NBA 2K, so
Yeah, that's the real. Yeah, if you play 2K, you can bet and win. That's horrible advice, Hannibal.
Listen, black people, black men, that's our game. Like, they stop making that game, it'd be riots in the streets. It's that serious. We love right. NBA 2K. I'm not even that great at it. Some people put way too much time in it. But anyway, we had enough NBA talk for right now. I guess we'll be jumping in that next
Season's
couple of
over.
months.
Man,
if anything is any crazy stories, we'll talk about it right now. If something happens to Kyrie, I will cry about it on this podcast. But let's talk about the next story. Cardi B. I felt like it was and I wouldn't call it Cardi B slander from the last podcast episode, but we kind of made it seem like
no, I did. No, I slandered her. It was mostly me, but that's why I had to come at the end like, hey, I don't dislike Cardi B. This isn't anything, I actually do enjoy.
Yeah.
It's content. It's just the whole I'm butthurt because she's 16 and Nas is 24. So putting my feelings to the side, Hannibal challenged me to listen to the album because I had heard of a few songs on the radio, like Bodak Yellow or whatever.
Yeah,
I like it like that. I forgot that song was on there, and it's got
it was really popular.
Bad Bunny, and it was a club banger, and that gets your body moving. And so it's not Cardi B hate. It's just I got love for so many of those other hip hop artists that I feel like were devalued in that list. And then when you see an album like that, it's like, man, they're just trying to give everybody flowers and be super inclusive. But I listened to the album and I listened to some of the songs multiple times. And I will say this, while it is not in, still my opinion, number 16 in the top 200, I do believe it deserves to be on that list. I will say that.
Yeah, really?
I think it deserves to be somewhere in the 200. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying where, but I think out of 200, yeah, why not? I don't hate that. I just hate the positioning.
Interesting.
And when I turned on when I started listening to it, the first song's kind of a banger.
Oh yeah, she comes strong.
She comes very strong.
This is a Get Up 10. I forgot the name of it.
Get Up 10.
Really good.
Yeah. Comes very strong. There's some club bangers in there. Lyrics were better than I thought. I kind of like her. I'm coming from nothing. Look at me. I'm going to make it. Swag. She's got some swag, some woman empowerment there. A couple of the tracks I had to skip because not my vibe, but there were a few that I thought were really well done. So the album was a good album. It's not 16, but it is a good album. I'll give it that.
And you said you would put it in the 200? Like, I mean, I guess we should look at the end of the 200 to see.
Yeah, I think
it had Astro World. Yeah, but you think it would belong there?
I do. Yeah, I think it's up very high on the list. It's not, it's in the 100 high 100s, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
I think it was a solid debut album. Like debut rap albums are kind of special. Like especially like obviously, right, when you see like really great rappers, they come up with their debut album. Sometimes it'll be their best work, but she came in with, she was authentic. I think that's where we came in. She sounded exactly how, and then confident.
Good
extremely point. For someone who just started, and she put in a lot of effort. She put a lot of mixtapes out there. I guess it probably just stayed in New York. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, she was obviously a reality TV star, but she put some of the work in. I don't know who's writing the lyrics or anything. I don't know if she's writing her own stuff, but when she's in the booth, she owns everything she's saying. It's not like you see other female rappers. You could tell either these lyrics are not even what she wrote, but she did just performing it.
Yeah,
she is owning every time, everything she says, the good, the bad, the ugly. So that's why I even asked you to listen to it, because I think Pedro's gonna like some of these songs because she comes very aggressive at it.
You were right. You're
but
right.
I am happy that, or at least surprised that you're like, hey, I think his album is good enough that it actually does belong there. Now, six top. Yeah, we're gonna move that up.
No, 16 is garbage, but I bet we could look at that list and take another album that's in it. Because I'm sure there's albums that we would like to put in at 200 that aren't even there. I think that's a fact.
We need to make our own list, but that'll take.
It would take months and months. But I think it does have a spot, just because I do think she's speaking from a place of her own. For me, hip hop is you're speaking from a place of personal struggle, experience, your hood, what you've been through, your life, and I feel like she did that in some of the songs, so I can respect that, right?
Yeah, because I'm looking at it right now. So 200 would be Astro Roll, and I like Astro Roll. So
I like that album.
Juice WRLD, Goodbye and Good Riddance. I don't think I like that album too. It's very emo. It's very emo.
That album belongs. That album belongs.
But he has a good. He got good lyrics. KMD, Mr. Hood. This is 1991.
I've never heard that album.
Heard it, but I'm gonna check that out. And then Freddie Gibbs and Madlib, but Bandana. I don't know if you checked out this album.
I know a little bit of I have.
It's damn good. The beats, the production is amazing. The Jacka Tear Gas. You could probably knock this guy out because I don't know.
I don't know.
And Cupcake.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so you know what? You're right. Maybe
I think we could probably put her in. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
All right, man. You know what? Good. I think that's, you could recognize some really good hip hop when you put it again. We don't know if she's writing the lyrics, but the production was good. She had the club hits. She had those and really emotional. Like I said, she really expressed herself, and that's what you want when someone's creating anything. You want them to, you want to feel what you feel, or at least with the creators feeling, they have that relatability. Absolutely. I think that works well with her. Yeah. But let's talk about someone we don't really relate all that well to. Jack Harlow, the rapper.
Who?
Jack Harlow.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Okay. He's actually very mainstream. I don't want to make it about race here, but he's a very mainstream. He has a lot of sponsored deals. He's on TV.
He has a chicken sandwich at KFC, Hannibal. That's right. It's crazy.
So you could tell they looked at him and said, "Yeah, that guy looks the way we want him to look. Let's put him on." Now, I'm not saying he's not talented. I discovered him by Spotify. That's why I enjoy these apps, Spotify, Apple Music, because they will recommend you things that I wouldn't bother to listen on my own. So you listen to his older stuff, and it's all right. It's cool. You can put rhymes together. Some people, or I think one person, not one person, but a few called him mid. He's a mid rapper. Like, he's not bad. He's not bad.
I would say he's above mid, in my opinion. I think he's a little bit above mid. That's just my opinion. I'm not like a fan. I'm not racing to the Apple Music to download his stuff, but like, I think he's a little above mid. I think he does have, for me, the new album I thought was overhyped, and I thought the production was good, but like every song was like the same. He's saying the same shit. So I was like, I can't keep listening. But some of his earlier stuff I thought was actually better when he was a little more hungry. I think with him, he got a little big-headed. I think he made his dreams come true. He proved people wrong, and now he's like making the same song every time, and he's sampling other people's stuff and riding the waves. And He did it on the new album, but I can't remember the name of the song, but he had a banger that was basically like remixed of several times, and it was I can't remember the name of the song.
What's Good or something like that. I think
maybe that's it, or What's Poppin' or What's Good, or
What's Poppin'.
That's a hit. You know, that's a commercial hit, but also a good song, and he's got some good. His lyrics are there. You know, it's just he's just a little too much for me. I don't like my rappers to be that commercial. And
very quickly too. He kind of exploded. Yeah, like he put his time in. Like I've seen videos of him performing in front of 10 people. Yeah. So he's put it there, but yeah, the talent is not. It's just a little bit too much exposure for the amount of the talent he's putting out. Yeah. And the debut album I thought was very average, and I felt that he was getting out rapped by his features. The features that were putting on there, they were better than him. I think he had a song called I think it was Lil Baby.
Yeah.
Lil Baby destroyed him in that song. Like Jack does his little normal, very above mid thing, and then Lil Baby just like went all in, like basically Super Saiyan mode, and that happens for a few. Even the What's Poppin' songs. There's other rappers are better at it, and you don't really want to do that on your own song. You need to be the strongest guy on your own songs.
Yeah,
man, because you get outshined. It's like, well, then really we're just here because Lil Wayne and the Baby is on this. I mean, even that other singing guy, the weird guy, the one that shot Megan's foot. Well, I can't remember his name.
Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez in the remix.
Yeah,
bodied Jack's.
He's got some bars, man.
Yeah, right.
You ever see the freestyle he did with that one podcaster, and they're like, no, island. He's a very talented dude. I can't forget.
He's a weirdo. I mean, clearly he's assaulting, hot women and shooting them in the foot or whatever the hell he was doing.
You said Megan Thee Stallion's hot.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cardi B or Megan?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't like women that are super done up, and they're both kind of really done. I think Megan Thee Stallion's attractive. I think Megan Thee Stallion is more attractive than Cardi B, like in her face and stuff. I bet if they both had no makeup on, I think Megan Thee Stallion's probably more attractive.
Yeah.
But there's just too much makeup in this, and it's just too much.
We're such boomers.
We are.
Because same thing. I think. Yeah. We got to this point. You know what? It's been seen too many times. We've seen women.
It's too done up
in the same look. They look like. So it's like you seen like this one Instagram baddie. You're like, yeah, she looked good, but it's like
they all look like Kardashian.
Thousand of the same.
Yeah,
it was like
Kardashian copycats.
Yeah. So it's. I understand that point. But yeah,
she's attractive. She is. I mean, if she walked down here right now and walked in this room, I would be like, man, she looks good. I would that would be my response. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. But a lot of women love Jack Harlow. They're big fans of it. And I want to talk about, is it because of his style? And I think he's a Drake clone. A lot of times when I first started to hear him, I thought, oh, it sounds like Drake. Like he's copying a lot of Drake's style, the content, the things he's saying, very emotional, but he's successful, but he wants a relationship, but he also wants to mess around, like a lot of Drake kind of themes. And also he's a all right looking white guy, right? And it works well because if for some reason the industry can only handle one white guy at a time. Okay, so like a couple of years ago it was Macklemore, and then
hold on, let's go back. Vanilla Ice.
Oh, Vanilla Ice. Yeah.
Beastie Boys, but they were a little different. They weren't like
my favorite song of Beastie Boys is Sabotage, and they're not even rapping. It's a rock. I think it's a rock song, and I love that song.
But it's Rick Rubin produced, and they got the beats and everything. So yeah.
But yeah, Beastie Boys. I mean,
Eminem, Macklemore,
which I think everyone.
Bubba Sparks.
I like Bubba Sparks. I like Paul Wall. Paul Wall stayed the same person. So like no one ever says like Paul Wall's
not white. Paul Wall's black. Just so you know.
He's black. You know what? I can't even hold you.
He's light skinned.
But there's other. I'm sure there's other white rappers, but like for some reason, mainstream we only accept one at a time, right? Like so, we go with Jack Harlow, and he's the guy right now. Yeah. His debut album was okay, and his second album was okay. And usually your debut is supposed to be the strongest. You're supposed to be coming in very aggressive, and really he's coming with two average albums, but he's getting a lot of recognition and a lot of endorsements. It's like this is the problem we have with like just content in general of rappers. Like should he have all this commercial success when the content, the rap is, the music isn't, don't dictate that you should have this much success.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he's there's definitely a little bit of, he's got that swag, right? He's got the, he's picking from the culture, right?
Yeah.
And he's a younger guy, and I think we see a lot of that within social media now, and people picking what they want from different cultures and making it their own. And people say it's swag, and even the way he speaks, his style, the kind of women he kind of likes. He had a good glow up. If you see him in high school pictures, like kind of a goofy looking dude. Now he's a little attractive. He's got a little money. He's got the chain. His hair's a little different. He's got the clothes. Money can make you look better. Let's not kid ourselves, right? It absolutely does. So I think you got a point. I think the hip hop rap game can take one white guy at a time. It is what it is.
I have no problem with it. They can bring more white guys.
There's
more, but
I want talent. I don't care what you look like. You could be, an alien. If you could rap, I'm gonna listen.
100%. I agree. And I'm just trying to figure out, wow, there's actually a white rapper list 2022. All right, let me just look at it real quick.
MGK back in the day, you had G-Eazy. G-Eazy was commercial. Remember that guy? He had
why he didn't like, because I've heard some of his songs, and he had some
not bad.
Bangers, but again, it's always featured with another popular artist. But I'm wondering why, because I feel like Jack Harlow got what G-Eazy is supposed to have, or was supposed to be. Why? Same thing, good looking guy, tall dude.
He had some women. He had some women stuff. He was dating that Halsey girl. That was real popular, and he said something. He kind of got canceled, but not canceled. I think that might have been his thing, but he's kind of a womanizer and stuff like that.
Okay.
Could have had something to do with it, but
the music got to keep up. Like, you got to put in the effort. I'm looking through the list. I don't know these people. Someone have they have a lot of Jack Harlow, Suicide Boys. I don't know. Karim, don't know who that is. Iggy still making songs?
Iggy Azalea?
Yeah.
I think she just dropped something new. She was with T.I., right? Like,
yeah. She just kept making she's one of those which you said people change when they get successful.
Yes.
Or maybe she was always this way, where she thought, I'm a star. I don't have to listen to anyone. Even if people are like, hey man, you're a little disrespecting the culture. You don't sound the way you rap. Like, you're
and she's from Australia or something, I think.
Yeah, you like your voice, you sound from you down under, and then you start rapping like a black chick. At least acknowledge it. Like, Eminem acknowledges some of it. Like, I'm like Elvis, but he's extremely talented. Like,
but he's from the gutter too. So I can, it's different, I think, right? Yeah. He's from the streets in a way, right? So
he's trailer park.
I mean.
So you when he says I've been poor, you're like, I agree. Like, I understand. And even when Jack Harlow came from Kentucky, came out of nowhere, you know what I mean? Like, but with Iggy, I think it was like a contempt from the community, the hip hop community, because the way she was acting. I think she thought it doesn't matter. I look good, and and then it fell off. But she does
look good. I'm not gonna lie. I think she's attractive.
I wonder if she has been done up.
Probably, yeah. But
okay, so all right, we're gonna go back to the women. Cardi B, Iggy, or Megan? Which one?
Iggy Azalea.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. I'm sorry. Don't take my card.
She's pale as that. Like, I don't know.
I think she got a body, bro. Sorry. That's just me.
I hear you.
I mean, if you're gonna look, so J-Lo used to make music. You want to put Jennifer Lopez in there? Then we can go ahead and just take the other three.
At her age, right now.
I'll take J-Lo at 60, bro. I think she's 50. I'll take her 10 years from now, bro.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen Jennifer Lopez? That's my boo, man.
I hear you. Yeah, I don't know any other. Okay, there's another white rapper called Yeet. Yeah,
Yeet.
Yeah, man, it's.
I'm good.
So you know what? I can see why Jack Harlow.
There's not a lot of options. He's not
a lot of competition.
He's a little above mid. I don't hate the guy. I think he's got that look. He's got the swag. I think there's a machine behind certain artists, and they just get pushed. And he's very what I call. I think right now hip hop is in a weird stage because you have what I call the TikTok influence, right? So you have all these young girls making these dance things for TikTok, and most of the music is music like that, or they take old hip hop and make it their own. And, it's really weird, but he fits into that group. Yep. And, it is what it is. There'll be other ones just like him years from now, better or worse. But at the end of the day, you just got to know where to find good music, right? And just don't turn on your local radio station and think that that's all that's out there. There's a lot of really older, great music and great I would challenge anybody that's watching or listening to this. If you're just thinking that it's just Jack Harlow and Drake, I need you to go to Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. Go to your older brother, your mom or dad's basement, dig up those old CDs that they got some, pop in a tape, and listen to some good music. So
yeah, it's out there. It's definitely out there.
Yeah.
Do you think Jack will be still relevant? I'm not even saying to start relevant 5 years from now.
No, not 5 years. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's gonna have to change it up.
There'll be somebody else by then. There'll be somebody else. So
yeah, be some other. And again, that doesn't matter the race. We will
be an alien anyway. From 5 years from now. It'll be an alien.
I mean, yeah, Pedro will listen to Iggy right now. She can just be blah blah, just like rap.
I put it on mute and watch the video. Thank you.
There's a really good video. I don't know if you've seen it. That she was freestyling for Flex, and she was literally incoherent.
I saw that. I think I've seen. That's an older video, right?
Yeah, older.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Those are things that fall off. Like when you go to Funk Master Flex or Sway. I think she was on Sway, and you're supposed to just freestyle. And if you're embarrassed yourself, I mean. Damon Lillard was able to hold his own, and he can basketball. He can. That's what I'm saying. But like he's putting his $10,000 in basketball. All you do is rap, Iggy. You can't put on. It was embarrassing.
Yeah. It's a look though. T.I. It's a business move, man. It's a look, right? It's a look. They want. What we have to understand is, I think there are certain companies, producers, whatever, the machine, like I said earlier, they want you to look a certain way for the masses, because they understand who's buying this music, who's making a TikTok about it. So they don't just want people that look like this. They want like people that looks like that. They want a white guy, a brown guy, a black guy. They want maybe an Asian dude, right? They want everybody they can get that has a look and has a little bit of swag and is presentable, and that's who they're going to push out there. So
it's that damn analytics, man. I mean, we all have to deal with it, and I think a lot of the people who put these things together, they know who resonates with people, and then, like I said, things get manufactured. I guess it's a great segue because many people think this artist does that. I think that maybe people think that this artist rides current trends and makes music for them. And we're going to talk about Drake. He dropped an album a few days ago, and it's been a lot of talk about it. I tried not to listen to too much of the I guess what everyone's been saying, but you can't avoid it. There's just so much. The album was called Honestly Never Mind.
Yeah.
And I can't stand Drake's artwork of his albums.
What is that? It's like an old graffiti 1980 something. Like
you know what? Yeah, it's bringing it back. I don't know what that is. It's bringing it back to how an album that would be from the 90s, early 90s of a font. I don't know what that is. You can barely see it. And it's interesting that we're gonna be talking about this album because I don't think this is not even a hip hop album. Like there's some hip hop elements. There's literally one song, like from what I remember, the very last song. And I don't know if you want to go first or you want me to go first on the review.
I want to hear. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this. I want you to go first.
Okay. So a lot of people are hating on this album for there's several reasons, but people are hating on this album because it's a dance album. It's a dance album. It's a oots album. And people were not expecting the oots. It was because they expected to come with rap, because a lot of the music that was on this album is songs that he has on his albums, but there'll be one track or two. But way back from his very first like a breakthrough mixtape, So Far Gone, he has dance songs in all his albums.
Yeah.
But for some reason he decided I'm gonna make 14, 15 of these songs back to back to back to back to back. So I was listening to this album in my living room, and actually my wife was going in and out. She was cooking, but we got to one point where we both looked up because I was on my phone, and I'm looking, and I'm like, "Oh, we're to 3 songs already? We're on the 3rd song."
Did you guys move? Did you guys move the furniture and start dancing?
No. I was doing this for research. She was cooking, as she should. So we were listening to music.
Dropping bombs.
And all the music was sounding the same. And when you could tell he's doing this on purpose. He wants you to play this album at a club or at a basically a party. It's a dance album. And people were not expecting. It's a summer album. He released it before the summer. And if you see Drake in his social media, all he does is party. He is such a successful mogul.
He's a young bachelor, man.
He dances. So I feel like a lot of people who just initially just hate. I'm like, and I'm gonna be a little aggressive. Don't you go out? Like, don't you people go out with your? Don't you go take your significant out in a party and you play some bad music, you dance, getting drink, and then later on you get a little frisky because the moving and she bouncing that booty. Like, don't you dance? Don't you go out with your boys and try to get up with some big butts? This is the music they play.
Yeah,
Drake is helping us out, and it was that just stuck, man. I'm like, you don't go out, you don't talk to no women. Like, this is the music when I was listening to it, it reminded me, and I haven't done this in a while because everything kind of went crazy the last 2 years. But listen, as like going out, going to the lounge, chilling out, having some drinks, having some of the high beat, high tempo stuff going on. Yeah, it's not the best, but you're hanging out, you're having a good time, you're dancing with people, you're meeting people, meeting girls, you're meeting guys. Like, that's what kind of got like, yeah, this is cool. Is it the best? No. Is this probably his weakest album? Yeah.
Well, it's his weakest.
I mean, that goes without saying. But also, I want to talk about the idea that it's okay to be creative. He's probably tired of doing the same stuff. Maybe there's just kind of interlude of something else he's doing. So I kind of looked at it for a creator as well. I'm sure you can relate, creating the content that everyone wants, but you like, let me try something different. And then when you try the different, like, that just sucks, man. What are you doing? Do the same thing you've been doing the whole time. Don't you have, like, I know I'm an individual with different likes and interests, but you got to do the same thing every time because I'm comfortable with that. Like,
good point.
So I give him more leeway than the average fan. I think he's still breaking records. It don't matter what he puts out.
It doesn't matter. Well, he's on a different level. Yeah.
So, no, it wasn't. I think our expectations were off. Mine were. This one song I like. And I don't know if you probably won't even know because they all sound the same. It's called Sticky.
I listened to that one today. Yeah.
That gets me going.
Okay.
Other than that, I like the last song with 21 Savage because it was a rap song and it was very, Drake. And if you like Drake, you like 21 Savage, you like it. But, we got to figure out a grading system, like our special grade. I don't know if we're going to do the 5 mics thing. Or we steal it from
I don't mind the 5 mics because it's kind of nostalgic a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind that at all. This, how many mics you giving this? And then I'll go.
It's not even a rap album, but I'll go 2.5.
I was going to say 2.5 or 3. Yeah, that's what I was
But tell me your thoughts.
So, interesting thoughts. I think we're a little more aligned than I thought. Okay. I saw a lot of that hate before I listened to the album on various social medias or YouTube or TikTok. And I saw a lot of TikToks being made. Like, people were like saying they didn't like it, but then in the TikTok, they wind up dancing, and then like kind of liking it at the end. You know? I think it was a surprise. I think Drake is extremely smart. He's a business. Drake is a brand. For me, he's not, he's a rapper, hip hop, whatever. But he's an entertainer. He's a brand. He's a business, right? Yeah. So he knows what he's doing. It's summertime. People want to feel good. When I think of this album, you mentioned clubs. I didn't think of clubs, but I understand that. I've been to Mexico like 4 or 5 times. We used to go, me and X would go on a 4 or 5 day thing, all-inclusive resorts. This is the music they play there. So I envision this is an album for those people. And you're in a pool, you got no shirt on, the girls are around, the boobs are out, the butts are out, people feeling good, they drinking. This is what DJs are going to play the rest of the summer. Yeah. And there's something wrong with that because that's the perfect place for this. Because it makes you feel good.
What's wrong with that?
You're popping bottles, you're drinking a Long Island iced tea, you're chasing it with a beer, you're drunk, and I think that's what this album is. Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a time and place, Yeah. Am I going to listen to this album in my car like I tried to today? No, because I'm not. That's not the vibe of this album. This album is for people that want to party. They want to drink. They want to have sex. That's what they want to do. They want to go, they want to get sticky with it. They want to have fun. Drake knows that. I think he understands the pulse of the world right now. People are getting back to doing things, even though money's tight for some. But people that have money, they're still doing. I live, 3 hours away from a place called Lake of the Ozarks, right? And it's past Columbia, Missouri.
Oh, okay,
it's where all the people go. They party every weekend. It's packed with thousands of people. Just coming up weekends with 4th of July, it will be packed. And a lot of the boats are going to be playing this album, and it is what it is. So it has a place. it's not a hip hop album. It's a fun album, you know. And I don't, you know, I'm not a big Drake fan. I do respect some of his stuff. You know, he's clearly extremely talented, in my opinion. He's a funny guy. He does Saturday Night Live. Like, you know, Drake is a entertainer, and he's good at what he does. So when I hear this album, like, yeah, I'll never listen to it again unless I'm at a place like I mentioned or at a club or something. And I'll probably bop my head because I've got a beer in my hand and I'm feeling good about my life. So that's where this album is about. I think he knows that. And I don't think he cares if people think he don't make good album because he's making money. And
yeah, I mean, the downloads are representing because, you know, it's not necessarily CD sales anymore like how we used to think. It's as album downloads and album listens, and he's already broken some records already.
Yeah,
but
he pushes the needle, man. He can make another album next week, and it could be hard, gritty. Him talking about Pusha T and this and that, and people would love that for different reasons, and he'd break records with that album as well. So
I understand the criticism that Drake gets from a lot of hip hop heads. The fact that he does ride the waves, and I think he kind of used the hip hop game as a bit like true business, where he realizes, yeah, this is about to pop off. I want to jump on top of this wave, rather than some artists like, let's say Nas, that doesn't follow waves. He is who he is, right?
Nas makes his own wave, and if you don't like it, it might be smaller, but he's riding that, and there's a lot of people with him. Yeah. But yeah, you're right.
He'll bring some young artists, and he's not necessarily a gatekeeper or anything. He'll bring in, like, you know, a lot of songs. Like, he'll bring some young guys in there to, you know, express themselves. But that's the biggest Chris, and you can't really argue. I mean, at one point he had an accent that he thought he was from the Caribbean. Like, yo, dude, you're from Toronto. Like, you're like, what are you doing, dude?
He was on Degrassi. He was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, like he thought he was a reggaeton artist. It's like, you know, so the little authentic is missing a lot of his music, but we still can't forget the guy has been having chart-topping hits for a very long time. Like, that's extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Most artists cannot do what he's doing, but some people think I don't know if he's cheating the system or he's not doing it the way you're supposed to do it as an artist. You gotta just embrace yourself and blah blah blah. And like you said, he's riding wave. Those songs we'll be listening to. I've heard some Drake somewhere driving today. I've heard, and it wasn't any of his old stuff. It was one of these songs. They're gonna blast it, especially ones where the bass is deep and getting the girls dancing, getting them to start popping. That's what we all want. I thought.
That's what I still want that. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, who doesn't want that? Like that. Yeah. Let's not kid ourselves. Like, that's what it's about. Like, you want to, and if you're a girl, you want to get a dude's attention. Like, come on, this is what it is. And when you're out trying to have a good time, and people have been locked up with pandemic for the last couple of years, people want to have a fun time.
Yeah.
Right. And I think he knows that, and that's what he's playing to. So.
Yeah, I mean, if this is this album was a business move, cool. I mean, it's up to you guys to listen to it and enjoy it. I think it's a good, perfect thing. And somebody made a joke. Someone said, are you a fan of SpongeBob? You ever watch that show?
You know, my first daughter used to watch it a little bit, and I've watched SpongeBob, but I wouldn't say I'm like a big fan. I watched it in the background from her. So, but I do. There's a few episodes I remember that are like classic episodes.
Yeah. So there's an episode where the jellyfish is in SpongeBob's house and they're playing house music, and you just see all these jellyfish dancing to. Someone was like, basically Drake made an album that's just accompanied jellyfish dancing in that episode. And I was like, basically, because at one point from the beginning of the album, the songs are blending in. I'm like, oh, this is on purpose, because I can't tell which song you're talking, like which song is this? Like he did these. It got to like the fourth song, so I realized, oh, I thought it was all one song. Yeah. So it's on purpose. It's intentional. But you guys check it out. I know last premiere we had, there were a lot of people like, I listen to that young stuff. Let's Kumo D, man. Wow, let's listen to some KRS-One. Like, maybe we'll probably dedicate some topics to some older rap. Yeah. We came from that era too. I mean, I remember, I was born in the 80s. I remember a lot of that stuff in the early 90s, where like the real golden era of rap, especially in the late 90s, that was the golden era. So we could talk about that as well. But I'm sure none of the crowds probably listen to Drake.
No, I doubt it. I think, and you mentioned SpongeBob, right? So my daughter, Gabby, will be 21 this year. So when he's making music for people about that age, right? You know, like that. He understands his demographic, and I don't knock the hustle, but yeah, it was a tough listen because it's like I don't have a beer in my hand. There's not titties around me. I'm not
working.
I'm not drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Like doing a lot of bits, like you're doing some stuff. Like maybe when you have some time off. And again, like I said, with someone else playing it, you're not gonna say turn it off. You're like, all right, yeah. Hopefully someone's dancing around here.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah.
All right, so it's 2.5. I think that's what we're gonna go with. Yeah, I think it's his weakest album, but it fits what's going on right now. And I hope I'll probably listen to it again during the summer. And I felt like it kind of fits some other artists trying to do something different. Like Lil Wayne tried to do a rock album. It was bad, but he tried.
I think a lot of artists have done that. And you think about Kanye's somebody he's made 4 or 5
I love that
different types of albums.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't. He did 808 and Heartbreaks. That was extremely different than anything he had done before. Yeah. It's not really hip hop. Puff Daddy did a rock album. You have people like Madonna. He's done all different kinds of music. It happens. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Snoop Dogg's done reggae album. Like
Snoop Lion.
Yeah, Snoop Lion. I think we have to understand these guys. I think they get bored, like you just said. They want to try new things. Nothing wrong with that. And you know what? They got the money and the influence to do it. Who's to say I wouldn't do the same thing? I would take gambles and risks and try something new. You can't make the same album every time. That's boring, in my opinion. You got to spice it up a little bit. So it's all right. Drake can afford to take an L. He's done so many wins. He can afford an L culturally every once in a while.
It was a matter of time, right? Like that one, you can't keep dominating. Eventually, you're gonna try something new, and it may not work,
and it might flop.
The best creative difference or change I've ever seen, and we haven't talked about this, but the Outkast. Speaker Box of Love Below. I'm not sure if you're a fan of Love Below, but I will tell you right now.
I am a fan. Yes, that's a double album, right? Where they each had their. I think it's a good album.
And Andre 2000 made a beautiful album. First, he came in with the rap and kind of explained what he was trying to do. I'm gonna do something different. And he hit you with the Hey Ya, and then it got the Prototype, and so but he's another level. Like I put him up there with the best artist ever. Like I honestly do. Like I forgot I even put Andre 3000 in my top 5 like rappers, but the dude is different. Like he's an alien.
Yeah, so I couldn't agree more.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I thought that's a great album. I remember I had that CD. I remember purchasing it, listening to it. Very different music. I listened to Big Boy. I listened to
the Speaker Box. I
listened to that one first, and then you listen to the other one. But I thought it was
he got a lot of flack for that one. People are like, what the fuck is this?
He did, but you know what though? That's from people that don't think he was different before. He was wearing different kind of clothes. He wasn't normal hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just different. I think his brain thinks different. He values different things. He's not the stereotypical hip hop guy and how he dresses, how he thinks, how he talks, how he raps. And I think they got to a point where they knew they were different, and that's okay. But they still made great music together collaboratively.
Yeah, and I think Big Boy sometimes he doesn't get enough credit. Guy can make music. Guy can make. He can spit. He can hold his own. But the problem is when you're with an alien, it's like, yo, damn, that guy is great.
Yeah. You know and people forget about Andre 3000. You just mentioned in my top 5. Like he doesn't really make music. He stopped for a while, did his own thing. He had a kid with Erykah Badu. I think they named him 7 or something like that.
He graduated from college or high school or something.
Probably by now. We are getting old, man. But I think he's just different, man. He values different things, and if he made an album right now, I'm sure it would be.
Oh my god!
I mean, can you? It's like Lauryn Hill. We're all waiting for her to do something, and then we see her with Nas and making a guess. It's like, oh, I want more. Like Andre. I put Andre 3000 in the same boat. Kind of like with Dr. Dre too. Like people wanted the Chronic this, and they want more. And I think those guys understand. Hey, I just want quality. I want people to want more. And because if Andre 3000 made an album tomorrow, I'm probably going to listen to the surprise
album. I may stop doing whatever I'm doing. Cancel all of my appointments. Forget. anything. I gotta listen to this. I gotta sit there and put this hour in. Like that. That's
100%.
the kind of talent that dude possesses. But
100%.
Well, yeah, we kind of went through the whole Drake again, 2.5. Before we end it, we got one more topic to bring up, and it's not necessarily even talking about or care about the people who are in the story, but I just like the topic at hand. So Aesop Rocky, if you guys are familiar with another rapper, I think he's from Jersey actually. Same another kind of rapper that great first album, and then he's
a fashionista now.
Yeah, he's a fashionista, and he's the most luckiest man on the planet. He got Rihanna pregnant. Congratulations to him,
dude.
Jerk.
How?
Anyway,
Rihanna's next level. I'll just say.
Yeah, right. And
she's an alien.
I mean, she didn't look at his catalog before she decided. Anyway, he must be a good person. So, he says rap has been stuck in adolescence since Soulja Boy. Again, I'm not even care about the Soulja Boy thing. And then Soulja Boy says something back. It doesn't matter. I'm not a fan of Soulja Boy either.
No.
But he says, has rap lost or did not gain maturity? So I kind of thought about like, is hip hop has a maturity issue? I'm looking at how a lot of these rappers, and you could type in rappers who passed away 2021. So many, some of we don't even know, right? All from gang violence or drugs. Obviously what happened with Nipsey Hussle a couple years ago. Obviously what happened in the 90s, Tupac and Biggie. I'm looking at other genres. Maybe, okay, rock, sure, drugs. Other than that, they're not killing.
In rock, you got a lot of drugs.
A lot of drugs. Like that. A lot of drugs. In pop music, some drugs like Britney still seems weird to me. I know she's been emancipated. She's still weird to me. But hip hop is the only genre where we just be killing each other. We just fighting. And even like Freddie Gibbs, I love that rapper. Him is getting jumped. He's almost 40 years old. We're getting jumped. Like a 4-year-old man should not be getting jumped anywhere.
No.
So it's like, does hip hop have a maturity issue? Like, what's your thoughts?
Yes, a little bit. I if I'm being honest, I when you sent me that and looked at it, I'm like, man, okay, I didn't really think about it. But then I'm thinking back to be honest, Hannibal, I think it's a cultural, sometimes it's a cultural issue. And I think a lot of people that come from a beginning of not having and feeling they need to impress, and feeling they need to show their worth, and get attention, and they want affirmation. I think a lot of that's in the hip hop community and culture. And it's a little sad because, within hip hop, because you can talk about rock and other, and some of those people have gold chains and they're fancy, and the cowboys got the boots and the cowboy hats. Like, each genre has their own thing of stepping out and looking.
Excess.
Excess, right. We all have it. But the hip hop community definitely takes it one level above most, I think. And purchasing and having things and talking about things you don't even own, or you're renting this car but you say it's your car, the videos and the big booty hoes, and you're dancing on a Rolls Royce and you got a Bentley and none of it's theirs. And so it's definitely, there's a maturity issue there. I think it's not with all, but overall I think an outsider looking in looks at some of these people and it looks like they're immature. Like, I think there's that stigma there, and I see it a little bit. It's not with all artists, but with a lot of them. And I think that rubs some people the wrong way. And that's why hip hop is always kind of, it's coming now. It's, it's in the mainstream now. It is. It's everywhere. But it took a little bit of time. And there's still a lot of people that don't like that kind of music, that kind of message, the beats. They don't like the way the people look. They don't like this. They don't like that. Maybe they don't like the gold teeth and the chains. And, there's definitely some maturity issues there. I think a lot of it also is there tends to be more beef within that community genre of music than any other. You have it in other, but not like hip hop. So it's always a one man trying to prove another guy wrong. It's a cultural thing. It just is. You don't see these country stars beefing. You don't see.
If it is, it's nowhere near the level of the way hip hop is. It's sad because you can just every couple of days you can look at a rapper, and again, it may not be mainstream. You may not even know who they are, but it's like rapper killed, got shot, because they still influence. A lot of the music incorporates gang culture. I mean, there was this one song, was it Who I Smoke? They're literally talking about people who have been killed.
Yeah.
That they're basically stepping on, because they're like, yeah, all your friends died. It's like, wow. That like how, there don't seem like it'd be an ending to this because it's lucrative. I'm sure some music exec looked at that song, knew what they're talking about, and still wanted to put it out because he wants to make money. Whether a more responsible person like, yo, what's going on over here?
But some of it, it's artist interpretation. So you could say a lot of things on a mic, and who knows if it's true or not. And you can always say it's a song. So some of it could be true, and those murders could have happened, and these crimes could be. So it's a weird place, In hip hop, even back in the day, you'd have the guys that were rapping. They were actually rapping about the other people around them that actually were in the life, and they weren't. But they're talking about the streets. They're talking about their hood. And it is what it is. Now I feel like a lot of rappers maybe they're talking about what they've actually done. It's hard to tell, but it seems like they're really coming from a place of experience, and people soak that stuff up. And it's definitely a maturity issue. But I think there's so much money in hip hop now, like there wasn't before, that people are just gravitating towards that money, and they're going to make songs and whatever because they know they're going to get the downloads and they're going to get the sponsorship deals. And I think that's where it's coming from. And it's a little sad, to be honest.
It is. There's a Brooklyn rapper, Bobby Shmurda, that basically went to jail for several years, and a lot of the issues was he was literally rapping about crimes that his group committed. Like that was a lot of it.
They were able to prove it though.
They were able to prove it as well, but it was like they connected it because like it happens way too often. I think it was even a funny joke, a funny story about a guy rapping about robbing ATMs and got caught robbing an ATM. You know what I mean? Like just stupid, dumb ideas. And for every rap like Jay-Z and Nas that been through the immature stuff and became mature men, you would hope that everyone gets that point. But if you can't even be alive to get to that point, to get to your 40s, to get to your 50s, it's going to be a problem. And I'll say the same thing always when someone's getting killed. Like this happened a couple of years ago. A rapper named Chinks. You may not even know who he is. French Montana. That was like one of his artists, something like that.
Okay.
He gets killed in his neighborhood in Queens. But it's like, why are you there? Like, why are you still in this hood that you've in his really probably some sports car getting shot up?
Do you think some people? Is this a thing in the hip hop industry? They're afraid to come back to the hood. Some rappers will go back to the hood and
don't come back.
They'll vlog it and like brag. I'm in my hood. Where y'all at? Like I'm here. The one dude does that. Takasha, what's that dude? 6ix9ine. Like he's always.
He don't do it anymore. He doesn't do it anymore. No.
Well, but he used to. But like I think sometimes some of the guys that stayed in the hood, they want that clout from the hood. So they say, I snatched his chain, I killed him. It's like, it's just about getting recognition for taking down somebody that was popular. I don't know. It's immaturity. And maybe even sometimes you're going back to your hood and you forgot 12 years ago, you disrespected a dude. Well, he's still in that hood living that life. You might get got, right? And that there's some of that too. We don't know the stories behind all that, but
don't ever come back.
It's sad. It's sad.
If I was a manager of this rap, like don't ever come. No, come back when the mayor's there, handing you the key because you gave enough turkeys to the folks. That's when you go back. They got the mayor secured up.
Little
that's when you jump in.
Yeah.
I kind of look at 50 Cent the way he practiced. I think he did kind of he kind of came back around Queens for a second, but he ain't going to the South Side.
Not without 7 bodyguards, he's not. And I wouldn't if I was him either.
Yeah, I mean, he was literally almost murdered. So actually, that's more of a concrete example of don't come. What's the point? You are no longer. It's sad. You are no longer the same person. You have too many resources. You have to protect your resources, obviously, namely your life. People are stuck in this situation with hopelessness, especially right now, right? Like the mental health issues. People are hopeless. And when they're hopeless, they're willing to do very aggressive things to feel like they can get out of that, or at least feel better. and then seeing you with the chains on and the whip, and you in here, even if you gave some money out, there'd be one guy that'd be like, you didn't give out enough.
Yep.
Or we need to rob. It's not a smart situation. So like I would definitely preach to anyone who makes it, don't come back. You can still donate and do charities. Come back when the politician is there. Yeah, well, it may not seem gangster, but you will protect your most valuable resources.
At the end of the day, I think another issue and that men have, regardless of genre or what kind of artist you are and what genre, we have pride and ego issues. Mm. And we want to go back to the hood to show people that I can still go to the hood and walk around with my chain on. Like, you want to get snuffed, like you want to die. You got kids. You got, are you thinking just about yourself? And I think men, we tend to do that sometimes. We let our ego get in the way, our pride. We want to show off, show out. And at the end of the day, I think if you want to go back to your hood, you want to make a difference. Like you said, you go back, you do things, you have the proper security. Who cares how people think if they think that that's weak? You're still alive, right? For the people that really matter, right? The little guys in the hood don't matter, because if they mattered, they'd be with you right now on your team, making a difference, right? So
security is extremely important.
You got to have security. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, and I think a lot of it's a maturity thing, it's an ego thing, and it's a pride thing.
Yeah, and especially in the culture, especially in Chicago. Who knows how to solve that problem? I mean, the amount of Chicago rappers that I've seen, again, I don't even know too many of them, but a lot of the local ones, they're like, what they call it, Chirac, right? It's not a hyperbolic gesture. That's what's going. There's too many people dying. Too many people getting shot.
It's bad. It's like,
and I'll give props to, what's that one Chicago rapper? He doesn't do a lot of stuff, but he was like 16. He blew up.
Chance the Rapper?
No. Kanye had something with him. He has dreads.
Oh, Vince Mency?
No. Not that guy? Sosa. Give me that song, Love.
I can't remember.
Let me look it up right now. Yeah. Because he left. He left and he didn't come back. Chief Keef. He left.
Chief Keef. Okay.
That's why he's still alive. He left. He was like, okay, what's the purpose of me still being around? Like, I'm sure he's probably flashing it here and there. But someone got into his head, like, get out. You stay there because you're already gang affiliated. You already been through this already at 16 or some crazy young age.
Yeah.
Don't come back, because whatever you've done, no one forgot it. The people who you've done it to didn't forget, because you're famous and whatever. Like, I think he stopped making music a lot, but that's what you really need to do. It's like, when you make it, you got to protect your resources. That's the only point. You got to protect your resource, protect your wealth. Wealth is what you don't see. So you renting out Bugattis and Bentleys and you're renting out IG models, that's not wealth. You're spending money.
No, like we talked about on one of the first episodes, we talked about the Kendrick Lamar album and breaking the generational curse. Mm-hmm. That's what these guys should be doing. Put your pride and ego to the side. Forget about sitting on your stoop and being what you think is a man, and get out of that situation and make your future generations better. And you can't do that if you're not alive, because the money stops coming in. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? So if you want to feel like a man because, I'm on the same stoop when I was 16, I'm still slanging out here, I'm still gang affiliated. That's, it's a very closed-minded way to think. You should want to get out and empower and better your family and your community. And you could do that and do it in the hood, but like, look at the examples. Nipsey Hussle was doing it and he made a lot of great things happen, but look what happened to him. We have to understand that, and that's no slight on him, but we have to understand, when you get to a certain level, you got to move different, and you have to understand people are going to come after you and they're going to want things from you, and you're not going to make everybody happy. And you mentioned Chirac, like, we're getting ready in Chicago. I was born in Chicago. I still have a lot of family in Chicago. 4th of July weekend is in Chicago is like the number one weekend for murders in the entire country. So probably up to 20 people will lose their life for stupid reasons, not this weekend, but the weekend next coming up. And it's always been like that in Chicago. The police know it. Everybody knows it, but people still hang out. Their pride and their ego get in the way. They're still showing out. They're still in their whip. They're doing this. They're drinking. They're whatever. And there's going to be about 20 people that will sadly die. And it's crazy. And it's usually for nothing.
Glad that we talked about this because I think that's something we gotta continue to talk about, and it's like trying to figure out what to do, and it's easy to just to say what to do and what not to do, but I know when I was 20, and not necessarily me because I was a nerd, but when someone gave me all that money, of course I would do stupid things with it. Like the idea, like I'm gonna invest it, like that wouldn't even be.
No,
I wouldn't be in my mind. I would have.
You're gonna go to the club. You're gonna pop
yeah.
a bottle. You get this big booty girl to come sit on your lap.
The
Like that's what 20-year-olds do.
I can find and afford, like the biggest one. Like come over here. The biggest
one. Hannibal wants the big booties.
But you would hope that there's some elders there, someone older, or at least someone you already looked up to. That's why I do love Jay-Z and Nas and how they become. I mean, just mature, but
they
like
transition,
successful moguls, business people who, they show their stuff, but still classy. They're not necessarily because they've already been through that. They've drove every car.
They grew up. I mean, they grew up.
They have their kids. That's what's more important. Like Jay-Z at the game. Hugging on his daughter. His daughter's so old now to a point of like, yo, get off me, dad. And he still didn't care because that's what I love about being a father. You live to embarrass your kids. You're like, come over here. I don't give a damn. You're my dad. You're my kid.
Facts. Yeah.
And I love that scene. So, and I love we're gonna go back to the NBA real quick, but Gary Payton and his son winning. I felt like he was happier for his son winning than he won.
Yeah,
because just the way he was beaming, you just see in his face, proud of his. And the son made an impact. He wasn't just showing up when he got back in the game. He put some points up, and defense is locked down. And so, that's what we're going. That's what I like. I like that. I like proud fathers taking care of their kids because, we had Father's Day a couple of days ago, but we need more of that in our culture. We need to change the culture. So hopefully we do a little bit of that in this podcast episode. I know we just hit up for an hour. Do you want to announce that we'll be doing next week?
Yeah. So next week, hold up. Yeah, we're going live.
We're going live. So every once in a while, guys, we're gonna do these as premieres to where we'll record it and then premiere it, and you guys can be in the live chat with us and communicating and watching the episode and listening. And then we're also gonna do some lives to where we're recording live. You guys can be in the live chat with us, ask questions. We could vibe together, talk about the topics together. So definitely come and check that out because I think when we're live, it's live. Like we like that. The energy's good. You guys are watching and participating. So definitely come next week and check that out. Yeah, appreciate it. And we have a good group of people who are watching. And one hit me with something that was pretty interesting about me being East Coast bias, and I couldn't even argue with it. I read it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I do have to.
Well, you're from Brooklyn, right? Like,
yeah, I'm where it started. You know what I mean? So if I look at, it's like, what's this? The West Coast stuff. It's as great as DJ Kool Herc in 1970s making his party, starting hip hop.
DJ Quick and
yeah. But you know what? But I'm gonna take that not constructive criticism and realize I gotta expand the pop. I love Andre 3000. He's not from New York. So.
You know what? So before we go, whoever did that and challenged you on that, bravo. But you challenged me to listen to Cardi B, and I did it. I'm going to give you a challenge.
Okay.
For the next week or two, and I'm sure you've heard of this artist. I used to listen to him a little bit. Spice One. Do you know Spice One?
Heard.
Oh, no. What? Okay, I want you. This is West Coast rap, like I think Oakland or Spice One.
Okay.
Check out any album. They're all about the same, and let me know what you think.
Okay. You want me to do the latest one or what people consider?
I'd go back. You're probably talking. Okay, hold up. I was in middle school. 90. Go to like between 92 and 94, 95, somewhere in that range.
Oh, that's gonna sound good. This
Spice
kind of nostalgic kind of stuff.
Yeah. Check that out. Let me know what you think. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to his most popular album, and I'm gonna break that down and let you know what I think. Expand my hip hop horizons. That's
going to the West Coast, baby. Throw up the W.
I wish I could go to the West Coast in this terrible place. But on that note, guys, thank you for taking the time to watch. Subscribe if you like what you're hearing, what you're seeing. All the links to the podcast will be down in the description.
Smash the like button.
The like button, and we'll see you guys next week live. Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Later.